Welcome to Clary Studios. Today we're going to be reviewing this Shark IQ robot. This is the self-empty vacuum. So it's a bagless self-empty base, holds weeks of dust and debris. It includes one Shark IQ robot, the self-empty base, two-sided brush, one extra filter, two extra side brushes, and a bot boundary strip. So this is my first time using the Shark brand. I've always had the iRobots before in the past, so this one seems a little bit more interesting. A lot of the same type of features. Basically does the exact same thing as the Roomba. You have the app enabled commands, so you can control it through your app. You don't even have to be home to control it. It tells you when it begins a job, when it ends, the status, the bin is full, all that good stuff. The difference with this one is it actually empties itself into the base right there, which we are going to be testing. And this one also has the no hair tangle feature on the bristles. That one with the Roomba happened all the time. A bunch of dirt and hair, all kinds of things would get twined in there, and it's a pain in the butt to get out. This one does not have that issue, so I'm excited about that. And just kind of moving around the box here is what it looks like. Like I said, pretty standard. If you're familiar with the iRobot Roomba or the Shark, I'm going to spare those types of details. But it's basically a robot vacuum cleaner that learns the layout of your house. And we're going to be testing that out, of course. I'm going to be showing the layout of the house and how it interacts with furniture and things like that. And of course, like I said, I'm interested in the dust removal bin. So let's get this opened up and see what's included. As you can see, the box is well packaged, which it should be because it's an electronic item. And of course, it comes with a quick start guide. We'll just go over it really quick because this is going to basically be how we set it up. So it says here you want to optimize your home for cleaning. You want to prep your home. Make sure you remove all objects like toys and clothing and drapery so it doesn't get snagged. It has these boundary strips that you can place in different areas that you want to keep the vacuum cleaner out of. As far as the setup, you're going to install the side brushes. Then you want to install the plug in the base. It's going to be the home base. This is where it will go after each cleaning. You want to power on the base and the vacuum cleaner, and you connect the vacuum cleaner to the base, and it will connect. It says here that you should charge the vacuum for 6 hours before first use. Right here where it says what to expect, it says avoid moving the base or the robot while it's moving because it's learning and mapping your house. You don't want to confuse it. It says check the fill base level frequently because during the first week it might be more dirtier than usual. Your lighting conditions, it works best during the day or if there's light, if you're doing it at night. This is not made to be running around during the nighttime or in the dark because it does have eyesight just like we do. And right here it says doorways and thresholds. It can go over like a 1-inch gap to get into another room if you have a multi-room cleaning area. But if you can't make it over that threshold, or if there's a threshold without a door you don't want it to go into it, you just add those boundary strips and it will prevent it from going there. Then of course you want to download the Shark Clean app, create an account, and connect the Wi-Fi to the robot, and you basically control it through your phone. All right, and here's the actual Shark vacuum unit itself. You could actually scan the QR code to download the app, and the app has these features: interactive home map. Like I said, it learns the layout of your house, so it's going to learn everything, go around everything. It knows where to go and not go. Room select. So if you have like multiple rooms that you want it to go into, you can tell it not to go into those rooms. No-go zones, so you can put the strips down and won't cross that threshold. You can schedule the cleaning, recharge, resume. You can do everything from the app itself. And it's kind of a comparison. There it is next to the Roomba. They're pretty much the same size, and even kind of look the same. So out of the box, we have the vacuum unit itself. We have the charging base and the suction for the dirt. We have one bot boundary, some sort of strip. You have to play with that, and it comes with an extra filter. All right, so on the vacuum unit itself, this camera looking eyeball thing is actually called the navigation module. So it emits infrared lights and it will communicate with its base, so it knows how to get home. Then of course you can manually push clean or dock from somewhere, wherever it's at performing. Or if you just want to do a spot cleaning somewhere, you put it there, push clean, it'll just do that one little spot area. In the back, that's the sensor right there, the docking sensor, so it knows how to back into the dock to charge. And of course we have the front bumper, so if it does hit anything, it's like a bumper on a car. It doesn't damage the unit itself, because it does move pretty fast. And looking underneath the hood here, we have the front wheel, the two side wheels, so basically these are the drive tires, this is the steer. And of course we have two cliff sensors here, so if it gets too close to like a stair, if you're operating this on a second floor area and it comes close to the edge of the stairs, that sensor will make the unit stop and go in reverse, so that way it does not fall. And same thing with on the sides there, those are little sensors, just kind of help it navigate throughout your house. And in the back there is a dust and filter bin. Those are the charging points, connects to the charger. There's the roller that says it will not tangle hair, which again I'm interested to see how that works out for us. And this is where we connect the little bristles that came with it. I'm going to connect them right there.
Oh yeah, so the neighbor was walking his dogs and Loki's kept trying to get out.
Yeah. So I found a spot. So I put it in the same spot as my Roomba from before. Basically, just want to have enough room on each side of it and in front of it as well, so that way you can do this maneuver before it docks. This one is a little wider and much larger than the Roomba, so I'm going to move it over just a little bit more than how I had it before, because this one's going to have to come in. It's going to do like a little dance and it's going to back up into the docking area, and that's where the dust and dirt gets sucked up into the base right there. And like I said, it does come with the boundary strips, which I'm going to go over here in just a second. But like, for example, around dog food, water bowls, things like that, you'd want to put those strips so it doesn't knock anything over, or plants. With the Roomba, it worked by just having this stuff elevated on I doubled a carpet, so it should be fine. And it shouldn't be strong enough to knock over this particular plant holder. But the Roomba had, not this one, not the Shark, the Roomba had knocked over one of our plants before with a different base, which is why we have these bases now. So just keep that in mind. So the unit needs to be turned on, both the base and the vacuum unit. So we're going to turn that on now. As you can see, it's indicating that it's on, starting to light up. And these connectors down here on the bottom with these connectors here, I'm just going to connect those together like that, and it should indicate.
Let's get cleaning.
There you go. She said, hello, let's get cleaning. So we're going to let that charge for 6 hours like the instructions said, and then we're going to come back and test it out. All right, so I'm guessing what happened. Oh, hold on, it's making noises. This is definitely not like the Roomba. So what happened is that noise was basically the unit sucking all the what would have been dirt out of the vacuum cleaner into there. Since that's the initial connection, obviously there's gonna be nothing in here, but it would have been in there. That's how you empty it. That. All right, so again, we'll let this charge for 6 hours like the instructions said, and we'll come back and, whoa, jeez. Scared me. Attack of the Shark vacuum cleaner. Okay, so I'm assuming it's now going to charge for 6 hours, and then we'll be back to try it out. So here is the boundary tape that comes with the unit. It's quite a long roll of tape, And basically it's like this hard rubberized piece, and there's like a metal strip right down here in the middle, which sends a signal to the vacuum cleaner saying, hey, you're not allowed to be in this area. So the vacuum cleaner will stop right at this edge, turn around and go back the way it came, or follow the edge of the strip. So I'm going to put these strips like around these plants here and around that plant right over there. That way it doesn't bump into it. And also you can cut these strips. So you don't have to use one huge long strip in an area. You can cut sections of a strip and put it somewhere, and that will be sufficient. However, the instructions say don't cut no less than 18 inches. So you might want to measure 18 inches and then cut before you start mutilating all of your boundary tape. So I was able to make 5 18-inch strips out of that entire strand. So I have 2 here, so the unit should not be able to break this threshold. So it won't go behind the couch, it won't hit that plant or the base, and also it won't go behind the couch in this direction or behind the couch in that direction, and I won't hit those plant spaces, those 2 strips there. And it still won't go behind the couch over here because it just can't fit physically there, so I still have 1 strip left. And so these right here were from the Roomba. So these you would just sit down in a spot like that right there, and within like a 2 to 3 foot radius done by infrared, the unit would just not be able to approach the area. Versus these, it's got to physically touch those strips to back out and go into a different direction. So that's definitely a downfall for me. I think the technology here was much better, and this is not that much of an eyesore compared to that. That kind of looks tacky in my opinion. It just kind of ruins the flow of decorations, and I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. I may end up just getting rid of them altogether because it's not a big deal for me if it hits the base because they're strong enough to withstand a hit. And I don't mind if it goes behind the couch. It's probably a good thing actually, so I can clean it behind the couch. But I want to put them down anyway just to kind of test it and see how it really works. So we've let the Shark vacuum charge for more than 6 hours at this point. So now we've downloaded the app, we've set up our account, and we're gonna activate it here. Is your robot a shark? Self-empty, yes. So I had to remove it from the dock in order for it to connect to Wi-Fi, so a little trick there. So we're gonna go ahead and connect it now. Connecting device. Connected. Alright, successfully connected. What do you like to call your sharks? You can actually name it here. So we're just going to call it Shark. Call it Sharky. Continue. Okay, so here it is. So let's go dock since it's not docked. See what happens. What is it? The dog's not too sure about that. You know, when you're used to the Roomba, it's going to dock there, and then it'll suck out any dirt as if it, oh, okay. So this is what it'll look like when it's done vacuum each time. Clean. Turn on Do Not Disturb can keep your shark from cleaning when you need quiet. Not right now. We'll figure that out later when we play with the settings, because when I run it, see what it looks like. Down here it shows you how much time. So right now it's going to learn the house. Pick up all that dirt right there. As it looks like, I just got for a few hours to run around the entire house. It's going to learn the house, learn where all the furniture's at. It's going to map the house. Then eventually it'll show the map here when it's done. So we'll come back in a few days after we've let it run a few times, and we'll see what that looks like. Alright, so I wanted to demonstrate it hitting this barrier. So you can see it does a pretty good job stopping it and saying, hey, nope, you're not allowed over here. It'll turn around and go this way. Get a shoot, do it again, go that way. So that way it doesn't bump it. You see it moved it. So I've noticed that it moves them back. And it did bump my planter and it didn't knock it over. So they technically work. It's just, they're ugly. I mean, look at that. You know, compared to the Roomba where there was that little sensor you could put right here, and there's an infrared barrier that kind of says, no, don't come in this area. It doesn't have to touch nothing. It just senses that invisible line versus these things. I think this is really a, you know, I hate to say it, it's just stupid. I really don't like it. I'm not going to say it's a complete deal breaker to want to return this or anything, but it's definitely a disappointment. I don't like that at all. That's my biggest complaint. However, you know, if you want to get the Roomba version of this that sucks up the dirt into the container, it's about $300 more on top of what this one costs. So just depends what you want it to look like and how much you really want to spend. As far as cleaning it, you know, it's comparable to the Roomba. My wife and I noticed that the Roomba does clean just a little bit better, but it does the job. And for the price, you can't really beat it. It's not bad. I don't like these things. That's just really stupid in my opinion. But if there's something you're interested in, like I said, I'll put a link in the description if you want to order yours. I'll get a little bit of a kickback on if you order it through my link. So I appreciate that. Anyways, thanks for watching.